Dear Mr. Fantasy Baseball. Hey everybody! Oh my goodness, it's the start of the season has happened. I'm assuming
First weekend after 4 days.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
And you have probably drafted at this point. We have drafted for sure, and we are here today to tell you about it. What's going on, Pete? What are you doing, buddy?
Yeah, good question, Keith. Hope all is well. Yeah, we're on a Sunday here. Lots going on
At the studio.
At the studio garage, the garage. I haven't seen Skeeters. Too cold for Skeeters.
Two's cold, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
So Final Four, and it's been established. It's all 4 number ones.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you about this. So there is a term that's being thrown around a lot, which I honestly had not heard that much before this year's Final Four tournament.
Okay.
The bracket is chalky.
Oh,
Do you know what that means? If
Is
it's chalky.
That means it's kind of by the book, like.
That's exactly right.
Okay, yeah.
That's exactly right.
It's what you would expect.
Correct. And it's extremely chalky because you got 4 number ones in the Final Four. So it's like, I was I asleep when this was being said like before, or it's just the year that it's the most chalky? So a lot of people like these pundits had, picked the brackets, and a lot of them were rather chalky. They kind of, a lot of number ones.
Yeah.
So I was hearing this a lot, and I'm like, my kids are using it? Well, no, because it's chalky. I'm like, oh, okay.
Wow,
well,
there you go.
So I had to I was just wondering, it's being thrown around a lot.
Oh yeah, I know.
So,
what that means.
so you knew what that means?
Well, I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely heard that before.
Okay.
So yeah.
But I probably heard it, but I wasn't sure exactly what it means.
Yeah,
But,
nor are you probably using it.
nor am I using it.
Yeah.
I am now.
Oh, there you go.
I texted
Nice.
my brother and I said, wow, this is kind of a chalky thing.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then I had to kind of explain myself. Like pretending like I already knew what it was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, my bracket was busted. Yours was busted.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Totally.
I think I have Duke just like everybody else would.
Yeah.
Duke or Florida. So it's not like, I'm not.
Yeah. I hear you.
So.
All right, guys. Well, yes, we are back. We are here. This is our 3rd episode in the new studio. We're so excited.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a strict time frame we're going to stick to tonight, I'm sure. And we are going to do a draft recap. We're going to go through the first 5 rounds and talk specifically about things that we saw and things that, kind of our thoughts on these things. So, without further ado, let's just talk, though, before we get into that real quick. General draft thoughts.
Right.
What say you, my friend?
Yeah, no, it honestly, it went by the book. I did a lot. We talked a lot about.
Was it chalky?
That's very good. Well done.
Nice.
Well played.
There you go.
Nice. Very quick, this one.
Yes. Sure.
Podcast quick. So it, we had talked in our previous
couple episodes. That's right.
about mocking and how important that was.
Oh,
So and so my mock, and I knew where I was picking. I was 6th. And you're a couple picks behind me at 9, and so it had kind of, it kind of was,
played out how you.
It was playing out to what I had expected until round 4. So my first 3 picks were good. It really, because it's like a domino effect, like we talked about. It really depends on who's picked first and the next. So I got my favorite pick, and then I kind of went from there.
Yes,
and then,
he was like, he was being obnoxious.
I was very excited.
Yeah, at 6 he got Jose Ramirez, was just pretty impressive.
And I wasn't. I thought maybe he could go anywhere in the top 5, and he fell to me at 6. So it was a very easy first pick for me. And and I think you were happy with your first pick at 9.
Mm-hmm.
And we should again. This is 10 teams, total points. So not categories, not 12. So
you adjust your lineup every day.
Yeah, this is total points.
Yeah, so it's like, it's pretty intensive.
Yeah. So no, overall, I was fairly happy.
It was cool. Nobody auto drafted.
Yes,
as far as I know. So that was really cool.
Yep.
And it was, my big takeaway was that people were on it. People were drafting really well. They must have watched the first 2 episodes of our podcast.
Obviously, yeah. Without making fun of us.
Yeah.
But even like in rounds 20, 21, like people weren't they were still taking their full.
Yeah, they were not.
Minute and a half, 2 minutes.
It's very easy because our draft is usually a couple hours minimum, and for people to just check out. But like everybody was in on it, so that was cool.
Yeah,
so,
that's a good. Yeah, it was a good takeaway. So I think everybody tried hard and was didn't just kind of.
And so far, we've got one person in the lead who's really looking pretty good. We'll see.
Yeah,
It's early. Come on.
They did draft someone named Aaron Judge, and the Yankees have just been
Aaron
ridiculous.
Judge. Yeah, geez, Maniz. Evidently, his little playoff hangover is over. My gosh.
Holy mackerel.
All right. Well, with that, let's get in. How about we get into round one?
Let's do it. Yeah, round one.
Okay, let's get into there. Go ahead with your first thought.
Well, the first pick was Shohei Ohtani, and we've talked, and Keith will probably elaborate a little about this. He had him last year, and obviously in a 50-50 season, he was very, very happy with him, but he stayed away because of the aspect of him pitching. So it was Shohei, and then Bobby Witt, and then Skubal was the first starting pitcher, and then Judge and Soto, and then like we talked about, Ramirez fell to me at 6.
They'll all be seeing the names right here, by the way.
Oh, you will?
Oh, yeah, they'll all be seeing the names for
sense.
sure. The people out there.
Now, like I said before, I was very thrilled to have Ramirez flip to me. I was always going to be offense. Even I said to myself, if Skubal came to me at 3 or at 6 rather, that even though I had him last year and he was fantastic, I really wanted to start offense because it's so important. And I was in my head going to get offense no matter what, and so I was happy with that.
Yeah, and sometimes when you mock a lot, because even with the format that we mock in, it's like it'll still be very offense heavy, and it's like you can get, if you're not really paying enough attention, next thing you know, it's like the pitchers will start going, and it's like you're kind of left in the lurch. So that's something to always kind of consider as well. Did you like Kyle Tucker at 8?
I did. I didn't have a problem with that. Okay. I thought about him. He would have. I thought about him at 6. Okay. But because Ramirez was there, it was an easy grab.
Yeah.
But I would not have been
opposed. When he went, I was like, okay, cool. Because what it is, and how I do things is, I'll rank literally, because I was 9th pick. I'll rank the first 8 players, and then if any of them don't go, which is what happened. As soon as Tucker went, because I didn't have him ranked in the top 8, Wheeler then fell to me. And, for me,
where was Wheeler in your top 8?
He was like 6 or 7.
Okay, all right.
So, and just for me with Wheeler, it's just like he's so,
many innings. It's just, on a great team.
He's on a good team. He's been doing it for so long.
Yep.
He's just great. I just like him a lot. Then at 10 comes my guy from last year.
Yeah, and I was kind of surprised you didn't go there. Was he not in your top 8?
No.
So he was, but top 15, I would assume, or not even.
I don't. He's still. So we're talking about Vladimir Guerrero, by the way.
People are saying, possible MVP candidate.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll see. He
puts it all together.
He put it almost all together last year. He did really well. 500 points. He was very solid. Obviously, the first-rated first baseman.
Yep.
He didn't match that previous year, though, with as far as that crazy year. He had just unbelievable numbers. So we'll see. He's always a trade candidate, too, so that's always intriguing. If he's not in a very, the most hitter-friendly ballpark, I guess. So it's like, could you imagine if he got traded to Houston or something like that? It's like, oh, my goodness.
I know.
Or conversely, if he gets traded to San Francisco, it's like, oh, yeah.
Right.
So,
yeah. Where balls go to die.
Yeah.
So, and then in round 2, what's interesting, if you look, if we're ready to move on to round 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
How many starting pitchers? 7.
Yeah.
7 starting pitchers. I was not one of
those
those people to get a starting pitcher.
And you stood by your guns, man.
And that's where it can kind of bite you in the butt a little bit, because I in round 2, my goal was to get an outfielder. I had to have an outfielder, and this was my first dilemma, because someone did slip to that, I guess, 15th overall pick, so the 6th pick in the second round, and that was Yordan Alvarez. So I'm looking at those two guys, Tatis and Alvarez, because Alvarez was supposed to have already gone, and I'm like, I wasn't expecting him to be there, and so I used a lot of my time, but I have such a belief in Tatis.
You love Tatis.
Well, he's like what he said. He's like, this is the first time I felt really, really good. He's leading off. Over these 4 games, he's these first 4 games. It's a long season, but he's leading off, which I didn't expect. Which is I'm fine with.
Well, more at bats. There you go.
He's looking very, very good. I know he feels good. He's healthy, and I'm just looking for that monster season he had 3 years ago. I think it was.
Yeah.
Where he just went crazy.
Right. So right after the PEDs.
Come on. Yeah, that's true. That's right. He did get this. That's right. That's why you're off him a little bit, huh? Well, I just
I don't know. Yeah. No. Believe you me, I'm not. It's not so much.
No,
that.
that's a fair thing. But Tatis was always my second pick, and so back to what I was saying, you have to be careful not to be such a creature of habit and be married to your mock drafts, because it's like you're presented with, okay, maybe I do take Alvarez, and I did not end up taking Alvarez because he's such a gigantic body, and he just doesn't seem to stay healthy all year. So anyway, so that was my thinking of the second pick. I mean, I love Garrett Crochet. He's going to have a ton of Ks. Not ready to take Paul Skeens yet. And Logan Gilbert, I love.
He was the one.
And I'm surprised you did not take him because you talked about him.
I talked about taking him in the first round, and I had him right there with Wheeler. He's just, all signs, we talked about this already, all signs are just pointing upwards for him. Him falling to, the 17th pick, that's kind of, the idea that Dylan Cease went in front of him, I think is kind of crazy.
Totally crazy. Absolutely. Yeah. And Burns should be nowhere near him. Raymond's okay. Sale, I think, is too old. But out of those pitchers in the second round, to me, it's clearly Gilbert and Crochet.
Yeah.
Do you agree? Do you like Crochet as well? Or you're just
I do. Oh, gosh, yeah. And if you're right and they're unleashing him and there's no inning restrictions, then, oh, man, yeah, he is scary.
On a good team.
Scary.
So, he could have 250 Ks.
Yeah.
I like your pick. I like Corbin Carroll. When you picked him, I'm like, outfield is really, really to me shallow, and you've got to have three, and that's why second round to me is like I got to get an outfielder.
No doubt. Yeah. All right, let's go on to round three. Let's check it out. Let's see. So Ellie De La Cruz, our first closer, goes off the board.
Yeah, I was nervous because, again, this went according to plan for me. Round 3, to me, I was always going to get Devin Williams.
Nice.
I'm drafting a closer before a starter, which I used to do back in the day. We talked Gagne before. That was my guy.
Yeah.
And but I have a lot of faith in Devin Williams on the Yankees. And
should get lots of opportunities, at least as long as they're not winning 20-7.
Right.
Which what they did last time.
Exactly. The last few games have been blowouts. But so I really wanted him there, and I was afraid of. So I was hoping Clase wouldn't go. So as soon as Clase went there with the 22nd pick,
it's a big domino effect in our league.
Absolutely. And Devin Williams is enough behind him. There's other players in between that I thought, okay, people won't.
You mean relief pitchers?
Just overall.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so, he is second behind him in relief pitchers, but he comes up in the queue so I was hoping, like, oh gosh, if he goes, I've got 4 more picks to grab him, and it would have, if he had been picked before I could grab him, it would have thrown everything out of whack for me. So, but anyway, so I was always in my plan to grab him with my third pick in round 3.
Nice.
A reliever.
Well, good for you.
Knowing I wouldn't have a starter, and I was okay with that because I was waiting on starters because there's a plethora of them.
There is a plethora, for sure.
Round 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And so I was... Anyway.
No, absolutely. And then we get down to, let's see, for me, I take Ketel Marte at 9. Mm-hmm. Same thing with Ramirez. It's just like his position scarcity, and he's so good.
Second base, yeah.
And for him, I wanted to lock in second base. Machado goes after him. I don't know about that. For me, it's not. It's fine. I don't know.
I like him.
You do like him. I knew. Yeah. Did I have him last year or the year before? Maybe.
I had him last year.
You had him last year.
Yeah.
I like him. Don't get me wrong. He's very productive, very good player.
Same thing. I don't think he ever felt right until now.
Now the Padres are all feeling right, huh?
They're all feeling right. That's what they're saying. What are they going to say? They're feeling terrible. But I think he did have the elbow surgery or something. He had some kind of surgery that, that was lingering. If he finally wanted to take care of it, he did.
Okay.
My favorite pick.
Okay. Yeah.
And this is where I was going to take my first starter in round 4. And he went too soon. This is where my plan started to kind of
unravel a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Framber Valdez is my Zach Wheeler to you. Like I think that guy is just an innings eater. He's just an absolute stud. And so I was hoping. To me, he's again too far down on the queue that I thought people would ignore, and he would pop up in round 4. But sure enough, he goes 2 picks after I pick in round 3. Yeah. And so when he went, I was like, oh, okay, that's my first strike there. So I had to go elsewhere in round 4. But yeah, he was the guy I wanted for my first pick.
There you go.
For my first starter.
Okay, there you go.
I did have him.
Let's see. So now round 4.
Yep.
We had Aaron Nola go. We had myself taking Helsley.
Great pick. I you know what? People are saying he's not going to duplicate. He's just the only thing is the Cardinals are not that great.
Well, yeah. I mean, every year I say that.
They weren't that great either. But
and every year he's So I mean, and he's great. I mean, gosh, he came out, struck out the side for his first save over the weekend. So I was thrilled to see that.
Yep.
Simeon goes, Bregman goes. Let's see. Then you go with Corey Seager, back to the well.
Back to the well, and here's where again Max Fried was also on my radar. So here I can't remember, but my thought process here, I'm like, okay. At this point, I still haven't had a starter yet, so I'm like, okay, or a starting pitcher. So I'm like, do I go with Fried here? And again,
and by the way, for me, like, I could never do this. Like, I have way too much, and like as far as like starting pitcher, like it would drive me crazy, like waiting that long. As long as you do.
And again, last year I got Skubal in round 4, and so it's worked for me in the past. But I'm playing a little bit with fire here. So looking back, my thought process, I think I did the same thing I did in the previous round, thinking maybe Max Fried would fall to me in round 5. So I was eyeing Max Fried, new team. Yankees.
You have lots of good opportunities.
Yeah, so why I didn't pick him here and I went with Seager, I don't know. I think shortstop was drying up pretty quickly, and I'm just a believer in Seager, except for the injury history, and he already missed a game in 4, and so I'm just like, but again, because starting pitcher's so deep, I'm like, I can wait a little. The difference between the top 5 is huge, but then the next range of pitchers is,
and you can have a guy that just starts to take off. Like
I'm looking, like I said, I'm looking for next year's Skubal, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think about like last year, Seth Lugo.
Right. Exactly.
It's like he was never done anything, and all of a sudden he's like,
I think he was a waiver wire pickup.
Yeah. So it's like that's the thing to always be careful of. It's like you see these guys, you got to also at the same time realize that, guys will have good games just out of nowhere, not out of nowhere, but guys will have, a 4th or 5th starter in a rotation will have a good game. It doesn't mean you have to go pick him up, but just keep your eyes on him and keep watching him.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, all right. Then Blake Snell. And then finally, dude, watched him last night. Mason Miller.
Unhittable. He made Julio Rodriguez look a fool.
He is unbelievable. And it's just like, he operates in and around 100 miles an hour, but then he's got that, he's got the slider, and then he's got the movement in on the hands. It's just like,
and you just don't know what he's going to throw. So they're like thinking, okay, fastball, and listen, people will guess him right at some point. But geez, he was unhittable last night.
I mean, and then he's coming in on guys too. It's like gets a little spooky up there. You're like, oh, okay, 102 coming at you. So he's one of my favorite players to watch besides Ohtani and all the other. But like, Oh, by the way, we're going tomorrow night.
Opening night.
So excited here in Sacramento. Yeah,
with
Monday night.
Not Sacramento A's, not Oakland A's.
No, just the Athletics.
Okay. Did that throw you, by the way, when you were looking at it? I'm like, because they show when you're looking at your screen, it's the city, right? So I'm used to seeing O-A-K, and it's like ATH. Who is ATH?
Oh no. Funny, no, I didn't really.
I'm like, what is ATH?
Lame.
Yeah, lame.
Don't
get me started.
Yeah, exactly. All right, and then on to our final round that we're going to be going over here, round 5. Stephen Kwan, love him. I think he went to Berkeley, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think he went to UC Berkeley. Yeah. If not,
I
will correct that. We'll see. And with Diaz.
Okay, but let's go back to Kwan real quickly. Okay, and of course he does not go this high in categories leagues. He went in round 5 only because this is a total points league.
Yeah, and because outfield is so.
Yes.
Jeez, my knees.
Yes.
At this point, you're looking at the outfielders going, oh.
I'm in another categories league, and I think he didn't go until like round 10 or 10 maybe. So much later because he just had, he's just a hits guy.
Yeah.
And average. So
Let's see, Edwin Diaz.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Is it Arias? How you spell it?
Arias.
Arias.
Luis Arias.
Again, good player. Not a great asset in our league.
Again, same thing. He'll go even sooner in total points rather than categories. He's way late because he hits and averages.
Yeah, got it. Altuve, pretty good. Yamamoto, we'll see. I mean, that Dodger pitching staff is unbelievable. And then you went with Logan.
So here's where I got my first, he's an innings eater. He learned a new pitch. He's not a big K guy, which
again, I had this argument with someone else about this. He had 191 a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, but I'm always after the 200 guys.
Yeah, no, I know.
Always after a 200 guys.
Yeah.
But he's no slouch. But and he makes up for it in the innings pitched.
Sure.
I can't. It's like finally, okay, I gotta grab him. If I can't have Framber Valdez, if I can't have Max Fried, I gotta get Webb in the fifth round.
And I think you're gonna like him. Yeah, he's great. No problem is the Giants. We'll see.
Well, it pitches in a great park, so that makes me happy.
That is nice. Trey Turner, there you go. Luis Castillo.
And you were very happy about this pick. This is the first where you made a little sound.
Yeah, I was very happy because
gleeful noises.
Yeah, because Matt Olson, I'm really hoping he can recreate that season from 2 years ago. We'll see what happens.
Incredible. I mean, he's got to have a bounce back. He's got to.
He hasn't done anything yet, so we'll see. But we're very, very early. And then rounding off the last pick in the fifth round was Jazz Chisholm, who is only center field eligible. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's just a little. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's tough. It's tough. I don't know.
Yeah, there's other outfielders I like better, but
to give you some perspective, Michael King. I took him with my next pick. It's like, but again, totally different. Starting pitcher outfielders, kind of stuff. But Duran, I like Duran better than Chisholm. He went out.
I like Ozzie Albies, who I got after that. Second base. I love Ozzie Albies. I could make an argument that I'd take Santander from Baltimore. I like him. Or Acuna. Maybe you take Acuna there.
I didn't have him queued up much. He was just the injury stuff.
Yeah, you're not a big injury guy.
No.
Or recovering from injury.
No.
Bounce back, yes. Injury, not so much.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay, well, dude, we've
been short and sweet.
Okay, yeah, we did okay today. 22 minutes, it looks like. We are officially at our stopping point, though, so I think it's about that time. We will, I guess, see you guys in a couple weeks. See you tomorrow night at the
That's right.
That's going to be awesome.
Go A's.
Yeah, go A's. Let's see it. So, all right. Without further ado, let's go ahead and sing it out. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Dear Mr. Fantasy Baseball. Bye.
Thanks, guys. Have a good couple weeks.